All right, Leo, this is your January 2021 Love Horoscope and Taroscope. I am Brian with Arrows of Love. Welcome back to my channel. First and foremost, if you like these videos and would like to see more of them, please click the like button and subscribe. It helps the channel and it's much appreciated. All right, Leo, so January 2021 is going to be an intense month. And it's not just you, it's for everyone. And we always start with the sun to see where your focus is going to be at. So the sun is in Capricorn and it's going to be there until January 19th. And Capricorn is 6 signs past Leo. So this has to do with your health, service, your routine, and work. So that is where your focus has been and will be until January 19th. The sun is going to move into your 7th house of marriage, partnerships, and one-on-one contracts from January 19th through February 18th. And that's in Aquarius. So that's the exact opposite sign from you, Leo. So you're going to be doing a lot of focus on that love front and especially long-term relationships. The month, though, is really all about Mars. And Mars has been in Aries for the last 6 months due to its retrograde cycle. So that was in your 5th house, your 9th house of higher ideals, personal beliefs, higher education, foreign people, and foreign land. So that's where your focus has been, like for 6 months out of 2020. Mars has now finally moved out of Aries, and that was on January 6th. So on January 6th, Mars was at the 29th degree of Aries, and that's called the anaretic degree. It's the very last degree of every sign, the 29th degree. Mars is the god of war. Mars represents action. It's our motivation. It gives us our get up and go in the morning. But it can also be aggressive and it can be impulsive. And it doesn't always think before it leaps. So you can see what happens when the god of war is sitting at a maturity point in its very last degree of its home sign of Aries on January 6th. We saw what happened in Washington, right? Mars now is going to be in Taurus. It's transiting through Taurus until March. And Taurus is your 10th house. And the 10th house represents career, your image in the public, and your reputation. So this is going to be a big theme for you, Leo, all the way through March. But it's going to be pretty intense all the way through January. Venus is moving into Capricorn. It moved into Capricorn on January 8th. In Capricorn, Venus wants long-lasting relationships built on a solid foundation of trust and security. Capricorn is cautious in love, so Venus will take on those qualities when it's transiting through that sign. Capricorn is your 6th house of work, routine, health, and service. So these are the themes that are going to come up as far as the love planet goes until at least February 1st. That's how long it takes for Venus to transit through Capricorn. Mercury, which is on your mind, these are the things that you think about, this is what you're communicating about, is all in that 7th house as well. So we just talked about the sun moving into the 7th. Now Mercury, the planet of communication, is also going to be there as well. So you're going to be thinking about marriage, partnerships, legal contracts, long-term relationships, all through January, February. So let's get started. January 9th. This is today. This is when I'm doing this video. The moon is in Sagittarius. So this is your 5th house of romance, fun and games, investments. It's also about sports. So the moon here does pretty well overall in Sagittarius. It's a benefic sign. It's ruled by Jupiter, and the moon is also a benefic. And it's making a trine, which is a blessing, over to the asteroid Chiron. And Chiron is the wounded healer. So, and this is in Aries in your 9th house of higher ideals, higher education, personal beliefs, foreign people, and foreign lands. So there's some healing quality that can be found today on January 9th for you, Leo. January 13th. Now this is where the intensity really starts picking up. Mars, god of war, aggression, impulsiveness, it's also action and vitality, is going to be making a challenging square that is a 90-degree angle over to Saturn, which is sitting in Aquarius in your 7th house of partnerships, marriages, legal contracts. The 10th and the 7th, there could be some great tension with you and colleagues or with your partner and work. There could be tension on both fronts. Saturn, again, can be very It's fiery. It can be aggressive at times. And Saturn represents authority. It's the taskmaster. It's Saturn. And the two are clashing. And we actually saw this combination before back in 2020 during that August-September timeframe when Mars was retrograding through Aries. So think back to that time. If there was some tension in the air, it was likely due to that Mars-Saturn square. And now they're going to meet up again on January 13th. And again, this has to do with power dynamics. This has to do with power struggles. And it's on every front. And for you, it's between partnerships and work, career. Also on January 13th, this is a pretty intense day, there's going to be a new moon. And the new moon is the new lunar cycle. That's when the moon conjoins the sun in the sky. And this is happening in Capricorn again. And this is going to happen in your 6th house of work, routine, health, and service. So if you're looking to do some New Year's resolutions, new exercise program, new diet, 13th is a really good day to put that into motion because the new moon is all about planting new seeds for the new lunar cycle. It's about new projects. So that could also relate to work. The thing is with this particular new moon is that it's going to be 1 degree away from Pluto. And Pluto is the god of the underworld. It represents secrets. It represents power. It's also the death and rebirth process. And transformation. So whenever the sun is illuminating Pluto, you got 2 luminaries, that's the sun and the moon, illuminating Pluto. Secrets are going to be revealed during this time. They can be a little bit shocking, and that's sitting in that 6th house of work, routine, health, and service. And it also represents the potential death of solar figures. So solar figures are mentors, fathers, anything to that effect that you kind of look up to maybe. And taking the house aspect out of it, Capricorn is the 10th house. And the 10th house is ruled by government. So, you can draw connections as you see fit, but we might see some surprising news on the 13th. There is some stabilizing energy. Venus, which is traveling through Capricorn, which is very steady, sure-footed, climbing that mountain of success, one step at a time, looking where it's going, building that solid foundation. It's going to be making a trine, which are blessings, over to Uranus, which is sitting in Taurus. Those are both earth signs. Whenever Venus and Uranus get together, there's an amorphous love type quality that can come about. So for you, Leo, this is happening in your 6th house. That's where Leo is. And Uranus is sitting in your 10th house of career. So there could be a change on the career front. Maybe it has to deal with money. Maybe you get a raise at the end of the year. Maybe you're interested in someone at work if you're single. But overall, the Venus-Uranus trine, it can be really dynamic, really explosive. It can feel like you're attracted to some things that are foreign people, foreign land, something that you're not particularly accustomed to. But just know that Uranus is also rebellion and it's independence. So it can be really unstable energy for the most part. So if you are out looking and you meet someone around that January 13th timeframe, there could be amazing attraction, but just know it might be short-lived. Moving forward, January 20th now rolls around. This is another extremely powerful day and even explosive day. Mars sitting in Taurus, that's sitting in your 10th house of career, the public, your reputation, is now going to conjoin with Uranus, the great liberator, independence, the change agent. Uranus works through shock and awe, changes things up. It is the future. And the moon is going to be only a few degrees away, which represents emotion in the public tone. When Mars, the god of war, comes together with Uranus, which is shock and awe, now you have the moon, Uranus, it is massive, explosive type energy. So this is also January 20th, which is Inauguration Day. So watch what's happening in the national news. It's going to be a very interesting day to say the least. But for you, again, this is happening in career. So something big could happen on the career front. Really change things up. Uranus is going to be moving through that 10th house of yours, Leo, for the next several years. So you can expect some big changes, and when Mars travels through here, it just adds fuel to that fire, so to speak. January 23rd. Now Mars, still transiting through your 10th house of career, work, and career, public, and reputation, is now going to make a challenging aspect, a square, over to expansive Jupiter. Jupiter is a benefic planet, But when it's squaring Mars, this can point to some premature action. Jupiter is sitting in your 7th house of partnerships. So, and Saturn's sitting over there too. And Saturn's the taskmaster. It creates restriction and delay. Jupiter is the exact opposite type of energy. It's expansive. It brings gifts. But when the two are together and they're only 2 degrees apart, they kind of cancel each other out. So it's a push and a pull. You want to take 2 steps forward, but Saturn's saying you need to readjust the foundation of something. You need to use discipline and perseverance in that 7th house. And when it aspects Mars in your 10th house of career, again, there's tension here between partnerships, colleagues, something going on at work. And it points to premature action. So think before you leap, Leo. You are a fire sign as well. You're very optimistic about things, generally speaking, but this points to being a little bit impulsive. So take the energy down. The good news on the 23rd, Venus, which is helping us stabilize things in Capricorn, is going to be making a sextile, which is an opportunity that you have to look for, over to Neptune. Neptune's in Pisces. Neptune right now is in your 8th house. The 8th house is ruled by Pluto. These are endings. These are transformations. These are new beginnings. It's the death and rebirth process. It also represents lump sums. So again, even if there's some potential power dynamics happening, either in partnerships or the work front, there could be some unexpected lump sums coming where maybe a bonus, an opportunity of some sort could very well be coming through. But also watch your health, because the 6th house can also deal with health matters, and Venus is there right now. It's helping stabilize things. It's New Year's. A lot of people are getting their New Year's resolutions put into place. So there's definitely an opportunity here, generally speaking, on the 23rd. It's also great for romance. So if you're looking to go on a date or have a date with your partner at home or whatever it might be, the 23rd is actually a really good day for that. And it helps taking the energy down from all of those crazy squares from Mars. Now the 28th, we move forward. Venus, still in that 6th house, work, service, routine, is going to conjoin with Pluto. Venus-Pluto is extremely passionate. It is magnetic energy, very, very fiery, and it's just, it can feel so comfortable and so on fire that it's just not sustainable. So, and this also points to secrets being revealed in partnerships or perhaps in work, because this is happening in your 6th house. So pay attention to this as well. There could be some things that come up out of the blue on the 28th. On top of that, on the 28th, Mars, sitting in your 10th house of career, is going to make a square to the Sun, sitting in your 7th house of partnerships, and a square over to the Moon, sitting in your 1st house of self-expression. So you are involved in this, Leo. And the Sun and the Moon are opposing each other, which means that's a full moon. That's on the 28th. This is your full moon. Full moons always bring intensity. It brings culminations and endings and new beginnings. So there could be some tension happening on the career front. There could be changes on the career front, and there could be changes on the partnership front. So the 28th is a big deal. Things are going to come to light that day because Pluto is the underworld. It's secrets. It's things revealed, and Venus is going to point to that. January 30th, I told you this was an intense month. Now Mercury is going to go through its retrograde cycle in Aquarius, which is your 7th house of partnerships. So you're going to be reviewing partnerships, marriage, legal contracts from January 30th through February 21st. So again, this is going to be pretty intense because it is sitting in that 7th house of partnerships. It lasts about 3 weeks. And just remember, it's a time of review. It's a time of assessment. It's time to slow down. It's time to think about things perhaps slightly differently. The 7th house is ruled by Venus, and the 7th house is sitting in that work, health, and routine sector. So really pay attention to what's happening with health. Be sure you're getting enough exercise, taking out any extra mental stimulation through yoga or meditation, because that Mercury retrograde is going to be an intense one, and then you got that full moon, Leo. So you're definitely on deck here for some intense energy, but just know you're not alone. The entire cosmos is going through these intense squares with Mars. These just happen to be, in your career front and the partnership front. So that can be pretty difficult at times. All right, so let's, I was shuffling before I got on here. We're going to pull some Angel's Oracle to see what's happening on that love front. We can dive a little bit deeper, and then we're going to clarify with the Tarot. See what's happening for you, Leo. Take the energy down as much as possible. That January 13th and 20th date can be really, really intense. And watch what's happening on the news. But like I said, Venus is going to be a savior for all of us. She's sitting in Capricorn. She does well in Capricorn. Capricorn is pragmatic. And think about the themes of Saturn, because Saturn rules Capricorn. It's discipline, it's responsibility, it's taking the higher road, and it's persevering. So that is how we get through this month, and probably the rest of the year. But got to be disciplined for sure over the next month, especially in that health sector and work and routine. So get back on your New Year's resolutions and follow through as much as possible, because that will produce the most benefit to you, Leo. All right, so let's take a look. Remember, these are general readings. The messages will not resonate with all of you. Take the messages that resonate with you, leave the rest. And then also take a look at your ascendant, moon, and Venus signs. Sometimes those will resonate more with you depending on what's happening in your particular natal chart. All right, so Leo, this is for you. Let's see what's going on. Playfulness, good. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. Leo, you're awesome at this. Leo, you're represented by the 5th house. You're the 5th sign in the zodiac, and the 5th house represents play and youth and having fun. So that's good. This is a good energy for you. Romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. Very nice, Leo. So if you're single, this is a great time to get out there. If you are partnered up, you want to recapture that romance, let the inner spirit and the youthfulness shine. Be your happy, jovial self, Leo. That is what you do best, and that's what people are so attracted to you, because you have that spirit that people want to be near. You have that magnetic spirit. You're ruled by the sun. People love that. All right, so let's clarify with the Tarot. I just want to shuffle. Cut the deck. All right. Ooh, 4 of Wands. We talked about partnership, right? So this is the marriage card, traditionally speaking. We just talked about the 7th house of partnership, marriage, legal contracts. So maybe someone's got something going on. All right, 7 of Swords. Talked about this too. Pluto brings up secrets. Well, we'll get to this. Judgment. King of Pentacles. This is Taurus. We just talked about Taurus. That's where Mars, Uranus will be on the 13th. They're making all those squares over to that 7th house. So it's asking you to really think about work. See what's happening. 5 of Cups. And the 6 of Swords. Okay. So Leo, there's going to be some challenging stuff coming up. And this is for everyone. And I don't like to sugarcoat things for people that watch these videos. I think people need to know what's happening so they can progress through this. And I'm not knocking any other tarot readers that do this, but because I think we have to be honest with what's going on. So the first 2 cards here are actually, really, really good, right? So you have playfulness. So maybe things are pretty heavy right now. You need to get back into that inner child that's within you, because there's some type of celebration. Maybe there was something you expected, higher commitment of partnership. This could be on the work front, but this also represents romantic partnership. The thing is, you don't have all the facts. The 7 of Swords represents someone that's not on the up and up. This could represent a liar, cheater, thief in some capacity. And basically, I always say with this card, the man is sitting here with 5 swords in his hand. He's got 2 laying on the ground. He's not a very good liar because he leaves breadcrumbs sitting everywhere. So you probably know what this is going to be about. But there's something here that needs to be addressed. There's something here that, might be wearing a false mask, so to speak, within some type of partnership. And you're definitely someone's going to get caught, because this is judgment. And judgment is making a decision once you find out about something like this. I would guess it's going to be around the 13th or that full moon on the 28th. It's your full moon. Things come to light during that time. The luminaries, the sun and the moon, are going to be right next to Pluto on the 13th. That's a very intense day. So judgment's coming up, decisions are being made. So let's see where you're going to go. I think you're going to have to be sure-footed. You're going to have to make a decision based on logic here, not on emotion. The King of Pentacles is collecting his coins. He sits on his throne. He's very stable, and he makes decisions based on logic. So don't use, feelings are worth exploring, right? They are. But there's something here that requires you to be steady-handed. And that's what we talked about, all about those planets sitting in Taurus. Do not make any impulsive moves. Take your time, Leo, because to me, there's something here that needs to be left behind. You have two cards here that require something to be left behind. So the Five of Cups here is the man walking away from an emotional situation. There's 3 cups on the ground and there's 2 cups standing up. So there could be some emotional attachment involved in this particular situation, but there's an imbalance of emotion. 3 are down and 2 are up. So the cups are in balance, and this is the man that's very disappointed. So maybe there's a disappointment on the love department, in partnership, or even perhaps in work, because pentacles are here and that can represent work. But I think this has more to do with romance. There could possibly be a disappointment of some type, even though there's still some romantic attachment involved here. And the last card you have is the Six of Swords, which is moving away from a situation. So the cups essentially are the emotional attachment, and then the swords are the mental attachment, where you're going to have to change the way you think about something and leave some pattern, some belief behind. We talked a lot about the 9th house. That's where Aries was for 6 months. So the 9th house has to deal with your personal beliefs, your higher ideals, and higher education and learning. So something here could be leaving, or I think it's more or less you deciding something's not working out, and you're changing the way you think about it, and you're going to leave it behind. Something's been challenged and now it's got to go. Let's pull another card for the outcome. I like this a lot. 9 of Pentacles. So 9 of Pentacles, I think, is going to be you, Leo. This is you going to greener pastures, essentially, and leaving something behind that is just not working. And look at here. The woman's in the garden. This is right before the 10 of Pentacles, which is ultimate happiness and success and bliss. This is also a traditionally very, very good card. So I think what's going to happen, you're going to leave a situation behind, something that a person, a situation that was not on the up and up with you. Judgment comes down. You make essentially an unemotional decision. Like I said, you're using logic, even though there might be some emotional attachment involved, and it gives you this. It's challenging stuff in January, but know that the light is at the end of the tunnel. You have some really nice stuff coming here. And a lot of happiness is on the way, but we're going to have to get through some of this sludge of January. And like I said, it's everyone, Leo. It's not just you. It just happens to be in the career front. So, there could be some, you're going to be focused a lot on security, finances, career, and then, things might happen with partnerships. So just know that Saturn and Jupiter are going to make that 7th house over the next couple of years. There's going to be a lot of benefits that come through it, but Saturn is going to completely transform it, and people are going to come and go over the next 2 years until 2023. But this is where you're headed. In the garden with the bird, counting her pentacles. 5th house. This is a very 5th house type of energy, which you are the 5th house of play, fun, romance. She's living the good life. So that's where you're headed, but you got to get through some of this tough stuff first, Leo. All right, if you enjoyed these videos, please like them. We'll talk to you next time, Leo. Good luck in January. February is going to be okay, but like I said, we got to get through some really tough stuff over the next couple of months. And like I said, it's for everyone. I'm not just beating down on you. We all got difficult energy to get through, but keep this in mind. Nine of Pentacles, you got good stuff coming. All right, Leo, take care.